Hi INFJs, welcome back to my channel. Some of us live daily with a fear that we just can't put into words. There's no words to describe it. It shapes our choices that we make. It keeps us stuck in places that we just don't want to be, but we stay because it's familiar. It makes us hold back on dreams that we've carried our entire lives. And the hardest part, for years, I thought it was just me that experienced this deep, deep fear. But there's a reason why this fear runs so deep in neurodivergent people, especially autistic INFJs, and understanding it changes everything. So in today's video, we're going to chat about living with a constant, unshakable fear and the surprising link it has to autism. And I'm also going to share a little bit of my story because I think many of you will relate to it. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I help INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs remember who they were before the world told them who they weren't. I do this through coaching classes and community. We unlearn the noise and come back home to our soul. So welcome to my channel. I'm glad you found it. I hope you find it helpful. If you're returning, hi, I'm glad you came back. You guys are amazing. If you haven't yet, I invite you to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate your support. Your support helps me come back and do these videos for you, and I love doing it. And don't forget to share this video. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs we get to help, and that's really what it's all about. Alrighty, let's get into this. So as far back as I can remember, I lived with this fear. I don't ever remember not having this deep fear. And honestly, I don't think there's any words that I can find that could do it justice to explain the depth of the fear. It isn't just like nerves before a meeting or anxiety before something new or feeling like something's just a bit off. It's much bigger and paralyzing than this. It's, I don't know if I can find words. If you've experienced it, you know what I mean when there's just no words to describe how it feels. There were so many things that I wanted to do with my life. There still is. And I didn't do them because of that fear. Not because I didn't want them bad enough, but because the fear was so overpowering that it stopped me before I could even start. And I never ever talked about it. I never shared it with anybody because I didn't see anybody else struggling with it. So I assumed it was something else that was just wrong about me. And it caused a lot of shame inside of me because of it. I was quite embarrassed about it. So I never mentioned it. I kept it all inside, quietly wrestling with it alone. From the outside, I probably looked calm, quiet, like I've got it all together. I'm living my life the way I want to. But inside, I was battling a constant furious storm. It's horrible. Some days, even leaving my house felt impossible. And to this day, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Some days, just leaving my house, I have to really work on myself to get out that door because of the fear that I struggle with. So taking a job that I really wanted was completely out of the question. The thought of stepping out into something unfamiliar, like unfamiliar territory, meeting new people, learning a new routine, very scary for me. It was terrifying. So I stayed where it was familiar. I don't know how many jobs I've taken that I've hated. Jobs that have drained me simply because they were safe. I knew them. And at one time, I probably did enjoy them. That's how I got the experience. But then it got boring. No challenge. And for INFJs, we need the challenge. We need to have purpose. We need to feel that there is something bigger with our job, or we get very, I don't want to say depressed, but some of us would. It just puts us in a real bad spot. Like we're not happy. And I continue to take those jobs because taking on something different, something I was really interested in, that was just too new. And it was stepping too far out of my comfort zone. And sadly, fear always won. It always won. I can admit that. And here's what I wish that I had known sooner or understood sooner. This kind of fear isn't just anxiety. For a long time, I just chalked it up to being full of anxiety. For so many neurodivergent people, especially autistic INFJs, it's deeply connected to how we process the world and life experiences that we've had. It all plays a part. So our nervous system never rests, ever. Our nervous system is going Mach 1 all the time, even when we sleep. That's a lot of the reason why A lot of INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs will wake up more tired in the morning than before they went to bed because our nervous system is on maximum overdrive, right? We're constantly picking up on everything: sounds, lights, smells, facial expressions, micro shifts in tone, energy in the room when no one else notices. So then at night when we want to sleep, that's when it starts processing all this stuff because it's calm and quiet. It's a very interesting, it's a big topic. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but it's pretty interesting. I've done videos on it. Our brain is processing data 24/7, trying to make sense of it all. That's what we do. And when our senses are always on, our nervous system doesn't get to rest ever. So it's like our body thinks that we're under a threat constantly because our nervous system can't tell the difference, right? So it's always making us feel that there's a threat, even though there's nothing there. Then growing up, on top of that, this is a whole nother layer to the fear. For many of us, I'm not saying all of us, but many INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs grew up in a world that made us feel like we were wrong, like we weren't enough in some ways, or maybe we were too much in other ways, like who we were, the way we thought, felt, processed life, our interests, our hobbies, it just didn't fit. It was not acceptable to society's standards. And when you carry that message day after day and hearing it all the time, it leaves a very deep mark on us internally, inside. That mark is huge, like a Mariana's Trench mark. For a lot of neurodivergent people, this wasn't just an occasional thing that happened. It was constant. It happened every single day of our life. Growing up and then into adult life probably kept on happening. Maybe not every day, but weekly, definitely weekly. The corrections, the sighs, the disappointed looks, the humiliation, making us feel bad about who we were, the quiet pressure to just act normal. That the comments told us that either directly or indirectly that who we were, it just wasn't okay, right? When you experience that kind of hurt and shame over and over, our nervous system learns something. That people aren't safe. The world isn't safe. If you've been watching my videos for a while, then you probably remember me mentioning, I've mentioned it a few times, that people in my world, for me, are definitely not safe. So I have a really hard time going out into like crowds, and not even large crowds, going into a really busy like a grocery store, or if Walmart's really busy. I drive through parking lots to make sure that the stores aren't busy before I go in, because people are not safe, and it will actually cause me to panic. Like there is a massive threat if there's too many people around me. I would rather go walking out in my wilderness in the forest and encounter a bear. I feel safer with that than I do if I'm walking a trail and meet other people. Crazy, hey? But this is what I was conditioned to feel, that people aren't safe. Where am I? Getting caught up on my notes here. I got ahead of myself. Everything starts to feel like a potential threat. Everything. Not because we're imagining it, but because we're conditioned to expect judgment, rejection, and punishment everywhere we turned. That's what we dealt with, right? And when we grow up like this, of course, fear becomes a constant. Of course, our body braces itself for danger. I mean, it only makes sense. It's trying to protect us, right? That's what kept us safe. So of course, that's what's going to happen. That deep, overwhelming fear that you feel today, it's not weakness. It isn't you being dramatic or damaged, because that's what it can feel like. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do, trying to protect you from a world that for a long time wasn't safe. So it only makes sense to feel that fear, right? I wish that I could tell you that I have it all figured out, that that fear is gone, but it's not. I still wrestle with it. The difference now, though, is I understand it. I know where it comes from. And when that feeling rises up, I remind myself that it's just my body trying to protect me, even if there's nothing to be afraid of. And I'll even go so far as to say out loud to myself, I don't like yell it, but I will say it out loud. I'll find like a quiet spot where I'm alone if I'm out in public or whatever, that, hey, you know what? We're safe. We're okay. We're doing it. We're safe. It's okay. And just for me saying it out loud, I can feel my body start to calm and that fear will start to dwindle away. It's really cool. When I discovered that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going away. This is amazing. So slowly, little by little, I've started to do some things that I used to only dream about. I'm starting to put my feet out into the uncomfortable unknown, which is a big thing, right? Getting out of my comfort zone. One thing that has helped me so much is learning how to create pockets of calm in a world that often feels overwhelming. This was huge. That's why I wanted to share something with you today that's been incredibly supportive for me, and it's the guide to navigating sensory overload for neurodivergent and autistic people. It's a self-paced, science-backed course designed specifically for people like you and I, people who feel everything so deeply and just need gentle, practical tools to create more calm in that chaos that's spinning around us or inside us all the time. So if you've ever felt drained by loud noises, bright lights, crowds, constant overstimulation that is just feeding that deep fear that we feel, if you've ever thought, I just need a way to breathe again, this guide is packed with strategies that's going to help you protect your energy and feel more grounded and get a hold of that fear so it's not ruling your life every single day like it did to me. If you want to learn more about this and explore it more, I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. It's been a lifeline for me, and I think it can be for you too. If this video resonated with you, you're not alone. Trust me, I'm there right with you. So many of us are walking around carrying this fear in silence because we don't share it. People that haven't experienced this have no idea what it feels like. So we don't share it. We keep it to ourselves, thinking that we're the only ones. I would love to hear your story in the comments if you're ready to share, because you just never know who needs to hear your story and know that they're not alone. That makes such a huge difference. My next video, by request, I'm diving into something that's actually connected to this fear that so many INFJs and neurodivergent INFJs struggle with. A survival response that most of us don't even realize we're using. For one, didn't realize that I did this, and it's fawning. I've never done a video on this particular topic, so I'm very excited about it. Stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for joining me. Again, I would love for you to share your story so we can help each other. If you haven't yet liked this video, feel free to share it. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs we get to help, and that's what it's all about. And please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate your support. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.